Being a new dad can make us feel very full of emotions, but oftentimes it can be hard to feel emotionful because there are so many different things. There are so many good feelings. There's also a lot of hard feeling, a lot of just difficult life circumstances. Things will always change, and while that can bring its own challenges, it can also bring new joys and new excitement. So let's talk a little bit about a few special things to consider. Welcome to the Emotionful Dad Channel. Today we're going to be jumping into things for new parents and new dads especially. We'll dive into some different serious things, some topics to know about, some strategies, some tips and tools, and maybe even something a little silly. Let's go ahead and dive right in. My name is Rob. Thanks for being here. I'm so glad you made it. The first and most important thing oftentimes is communication. People can't know how you're doing unless you tell them, which can be scary. Especially as a man in today's society, I feel like some of the expectations have grown. That I know more, I be more involved, I do more, which I love. I'm also not sure how to do that, and I'm trying to navigate that as I go along. One of the things I found so helpful is to share when I don't know what I'm doing, to share when I think I know what I'm doing, but turns out maybe it wasn't the best thing to do, which happens a lot, and that's okay because that's when I learn. Sharing allows it to be out in the open. It takes a big fish in a small pond and turns it into a small fish in a gigantic pond. It doesn't stand a chance once it's out. You can deal with it more, other people can help you, and it actually shows a lot of strength. Those are the values of sharing, and that is the most important piece, first and foremost, when navigating the new parenting stage. A second really important piece is your own self care. Most of the time, we focus on what does my kiddo need? What is going on? Why are they crying? How do I fix it? How do I help them? How do I make sure that they trust, that they know that I'm always going to be there for them? The good news is you can have times where you aren't perfect and they'll still trust and love you. I had many of them myself where I wasn't as quick to get there as I thought I should have. Or there were times where maybe I wasn't the most calm when my kiddo was upset. And I felt horrible. I felt like I had ruined a chance to help them develop in the way they need to. I also started to learn that I'm going to have times where I don't meet my own expectations. And that's okay. My kiddo still loves me. She still knows that I'm there for her. She still gets mad at me when I do things she doesn't like. That all hasn't changed. What did change for me was when I started acknowledging I don't have to be perfect. I can take care of me too. I started realizing I had a little more to give for my daughter and my wife and my work and my family and in so many other places. When I was worn down and working myself to the bone to try to make it all work, I ended up making sure none of it could truly work at its best. And that's where taking care of yourself becomes so important. It allows you to continue to do all of the things that you want and expect of yourself, but even better than if you only worked on them. You matter. Your needs are important too. They can never supersede your child's because they can't take care of themselves. And it's okay if you take a moment to breathe before going in to get your screaming child. It's okay if you take a deep breath when they're right there instead of scooping them up immediately, as long as you try, as long as you do your best and know that that will come through. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. You just have to be you, and you have to take care of you, and the rest will fall into place. There were too many things for me to put in for today, so I decided to narrow it down to a third and final one. That third and final thing that is so important and instrumental for new parents is hope. Hope that the next day will be a little smoother. Hope that that sickness your kid picked up will clear up as soon as it can and they can get back to childcare, or you can get back to taking care of them when they're a little more well regulated. Hope that things will continue to progress into the future where you will sleep more through the night. Things do change, sometimes for what we consider to be the better, sometimes for what we consider to be the worse. No matter what, there is always hope, and holding on to that hope is so important. If you ever feel like you've lost the ability to hope, you feel hopeless or helpless, can't get up and go to work, aren't able to function on a daily basis, it's okay to ask for help. It's good to tell someone what's going on. If you need help, ask for it. You'll be surprised how much it can make a difference. Check down below for a link to my website that has a special page about seeking professional support. I know I've had to multiple times during my parenting journey, and that's coming from somebody who's a therapist themselves. I know a lot. Sometimes that's a problem, but it's always helpful to get that third party perspective, that neutral person who is there literally just to help and listen. I know it can be scary. It's been scary for me. But if you've ever even considered it, give it a try. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by what you can gain from it and how it can help you get back to that place of hope. And if nothing else, share how you're feeling with someone that you trust. That might be enough to get the ball rolling, to get you started. And just know there's always more support out there. Today I decided to put in an honorable mention for something that's really important. Reading to my child. Reading out loud, showing picture books, really getting immersed in literature. There are so many wonderful things that we can find in books, and now is the time to start. I found some of my favorite times were sitting with my sweet baby daughter on my lap, and that rhythm and cadence of reading was very soothing to her. And it was very soothing and helpful for me too. It helped me calm. It helped me center and be present in the moment. I just think it's so important to read, to engage our children with books, with words, with the world of ideas. We want our kids to grow up to be amazing, wonderful, and well-rounded people. There's no better time to start than now. Speaking of which, time for the shameless plug. I am also a children's book author, so if you find some of the pieces that I share with you to be interesting or helpful, check out more. I write children's books. I also write parent self-help books. They're available on my website to find where they're for sale. Feel free to check them out. Here's my silly for today. To all the new dads and parents out there, just know that it can feel a lot like Dungeons and Dragons. Hold on just a second. Let me separate that. Okay, and then this one. Put a dash. Okay, that looks better. Let me try that again. To all those new dads and parents out there, just know that it can feel like dung eons and dragons, where you have to deal with poop and the nights last forever. Just know you'll be okay. You'll get through this, and that you are amazing. Today we talked about 3 main things for helping you along in your new parenting journey. First one is sharing, being able to express and seek the support that you need. The second is self-care, enacting those needs in a way that helps you continue to be at your best. And the final one is hope, how to maintain hope and how to help find it if you feel like you've lost it. I did throw in an honorable mention of reading with your kiddo. Still think it's very important. And again, there's so many different parts about being a new parent that I couldn't cover them all. Hopefully something resonated for you today. If so, leave me a comment down below. Give me a like, subscribe if you really like what I do. And know that if you're ever interested in more, check out my website or my Pinterest page. I'll leave links down below in the video description to direct you to those different ones. Thanks again for being here. I truly appreciate it. And as always, keep feeling and take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time. reading, best, best, reading, reading, best, best, reading.